Okay, hello, give me 1 second. I need to change something. Okay, I guess. Hey, welcome. This is Samir again. It's that time of the day, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm back here, and we are going to talk about messenger bots. Messenger bots for marketing. Um, so let's get started. Um, from last Facebook Live, there was a question by Morton, if I remember his name correctly. Morton was asking, how long does it take to make a good messenger bot? And I asked him, like, when you say good messenger bot, what does it mean, right? Because the good messenger bot might mean different things to different people. And I wanted to expand a little bit on that. Now, I primarily focus on building messenger bots for marketing. So I can talk a little about what is a good marketing messenger bot, and that's what I'll discuss today. So marketing bots are primarily educational bots. It's like good email marketing. If you are on a newsletter of someone, uh, think of someone who you look forward to in terms of the newsletter. Think of a newsletter that you're subscribed to where it's so valuable and you find it so good that you look forward to their next email, right? That's what you really want. You want to provide a lot of educational relevant content to your subscribers when people subscribe to your messenger bot, and you want to make them look forward to you, right? So that would be a good messenger bot, when people look forward to what you have to say. And and again, this is not the rule of law, this is the rule of thumb, that what you want to do is you want your messenger bot to send out a message. You want the bot to send out message initially when people subscribe. You want to say welcome. You want the bot to say the welcome message, and you want the bot to always teach, right? The marketing bot is always an educational bot to begin with. So you want the bot to say few things educational. You want the bot to teach. You don't want the bot to talk a lot, because people have short attention spans, and when we are especially on Messenger, we might be in the middle of something and people necessarily don't have a lot of time. So you want to be mindful of that you always want to send short, few messages at a time, not a lot of messages, right? Because of course it's kind of an interruption at the end of the day. When you are using Messenger messaging application, it is like interruption, because you are interrupting the other person. So you want to, but initially you want to send messages every day, because you want the other person to get used to what it is that you're really trying to do, because it's a new medium, it's a new way, it's a new tool. So people aren't always familiar with what's happening, what's going on, whether it's a real person or not. So you want to kind of set expectations that it's an educational chatbot. It's an educational software, and how it can function. So in my mind, that would be a good bot. When the user subscribes, it starts teaching. It sends short few messages initially every day, just once a day, not multiple times, for like 4 or 5 days. It's again kind of rule of thumb, right? It may vary, may not be applicable to everyone. And then it can switch to a lower frequency, or it can continue to send daily messages for a while. So here is the thing, like if what you are sending is valuable, interesting, relevant, educational to the people you are sending to, then it is okay to send them something daily. Not everyone is going to agree here with me, but I am on several newsletters where I receive their emails daily and I look forward to them. I'm on several messenger bots. I'm subscribed to several messenger bots where I receive messages daily and I look forward to them because they are valuable to me, they are interesting to me, they are relevant to my interests, my goals. Okay, so you always want to keep that in mind. So that's kind of at high level, what's a good messenger bot and how you should set up. Now, my goal is again to be hands-on and start kind of teaching you a few things. So give me 1 second and I'll start sharing my screen and we will jump into okay, so I guess hopefully you can see my screen. Current application, yeah. So this is our test bot interface. Again, this is ManyChat. I'm going to manychat.com, and once you initially hook up, you won't have to re-log in. It'll automatically log you in. And so far what we discussed is this bot doesn't know much. It's a dumb bot, right? And we are starting with very basic baby steps. We are teaching the bot to recognize keywords. So our bot recognizes, and I'm going on the left hand side, I'm going through automation. I clicked automation and I'm going to keywords. Excuse me. So we have set up the welcome message. Whenever people subscribe, the bot has a welcome message, a greeting, right? This is the greeting that we set up. It says, hello, first name, welcome, I'm TestBot's bot. Thanks for checking me out, right? That's our welcome message. And then we started teaching bot new words. By default, because of the way the whole environment is set up, because of the Facebook terms of service agreement, which we are agreeing just by using this tool, using Messenger. The tool ManyChat already sets up the subscription and unsubscription methods. Basically, the bot by default understands 4 words: start or subscribe, or stop or unsubscribe, right? It already knows that because it's required to know those things. You cannot have a bot which doesn't understand how to unsubscribe, basically, or how to subscribe, because people need to be able to unsubscribe easily. Also, they need to be able to subscribe easily if they want to, right? And then we started teaching more words, like we taught hi. But you can see that this is a very slow process, right? English language has, I don't know, millions of words, and we can't teach all words. And this is a very ineffective way of teaching the bot. Although I think it can be helpful, right? Like people use simple greetings, simple words. We always use things like hello, hi, start, stop. So it's valuable to teach the bot those simple words, but it's not very effective, right? Because the bot cannot continue on engaging interesting conversation if it only knows a few simple words. So of course, that brings us to the next step in the evolution of this bot, the next step of what we are going to teach this bot. And I'm kind of keeping an eye on if there are any comments or anything like that. So far, no comments. So I'm gonna keep moving on here. So what's the next step after teaching few words? The next step is something called sequences. Okay, the sequences is sequence of messages or a conversation. What is a conversation? Conversation is a sequence of messages, right? One person sends out a message, the other person responds. So in bot terms, sequence is a string of messages, a string of conversation where there's one message that bot sends out, and then there are different possibilities of reacting to that message. So rather than talking abstract, let me start showing you an example. So in order to build out conversational sequences, you want to use something called flow. Although under automation, you'll see something, you'll see sequences, and that's what we will eventually get to. You want to start at the flow. Flow is nothing but conversational flow. Okay, so yeah, so let me continue on to make it clear. You always want to work in folders to kind of organize your stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna name this folder something, initial demo, or just demo or something like that, and I'm going to open that, right? So I have a new folder, and that's where I'm going to create my first flow. Okay, so on the top right corner you will see the blue button, new flow. You want to click that flow, and each flow that you create has to be named. Okay, my first flow. Yeah, pick something. So this is the interface. This is the messaging interface where we build out our flows, our sequences. And what I suggest, first thing you do is go to the top right corner and go to Flow Builder. Don't worry, I mean, you may be wondering what the heck is going on. That's fine. If you kind of continue to follow along, you will get a hang of what's happening. We are building a conversational flow. Okay, we are building a string of messages, string of conversation, you can say that. So we went to the flow builder, and okay, so then it'll bring us to the starting step, and click in that middle. It says, right, just if you read, click to add text in the sidebar. So I clicked on that, it brought up a sidebar, it popped up a sidebar, and there I can enter the message. So let's kind of come up with something, right? Let's just say first thing it's gonna say, hello, how are you, right? For the lack of any better or different suggestion, I'm gonna start with hello, how are you, to make it more personalized. So remember, this is what bot is going to say. So when you go to the messenger, the person will get this message when this sequence is started. So it's always better to personalize the messaging, right? Because if the messaging is personalized for you, then there is more motivation for you to continue to engage in that conversation, right? So how do you personalize this message? If you remember, we have access to some user information, right? And that is this here emoji of a person. If you click on that, this is what we have access to. We know the first name, last name, full name, page name, because sometimes people are logged in as a page on Facebook. You know, if you ever owned a business page, you'll know that. Page ID and user ID, not so relevant for our conversation so far, so ignore that. So I can use the first name, right? So on the it'll bring up this pop-up, and it has two boxes. On the left hand side it says variable type, and right hand side it says fallback, and it has help, it has question mark. So if you go there, it says variable lets you personalize your message with user data like the name or Facebook page title, what I just talked, right? Now what is the fallback? Not always people will have populated their Facebook profile with their first name. Sometimes it'll be missing. It's I don't know, although the first name might be required, last name may not be required. That's what I'm guessing. I might be wrong, but this is the general case of what to do if that information is not available. Let's say we said hello full name and the last full name is not available, then what do you say? So typically I would leave, I don't know, if the first name is not available, what would you do? I would leave it empty. I can say hello Samir, or I can say hello, right? So you want to think through that, and in some cases it will make sense to populate the fallback, right? So if that's the case, we'll use that. I can't think of anything right now, so I'm gonna proceed. Continuing to check. Okay, so reminder that I'm Samir, and I am doing this series of Facebook Lives to teach how to build marketing messenger bots for your business. And today we are talking about, we are continuing the conversation of how to teach the bot to carry out conversations. That's what we are going through. So if you happen to join the replay, then say hello, say hi in the comments, ask me questions like Morten did. Ask questions, and I will try to answer your questions, right? Just a reminder. Okay, so I'm going to keep the fallback empty, and I'm going to go back. I just clicked in the text area. It says hello, how are you? Now what? Right? Now the bot said hello, how are you? So now you can do a few things, right? You can say hello back. You can say I am good, right? So there are a few ways we can continue the conversation after the bot has said something or send out the initial message. So one way is through buttons. Okay, one way is through displaying buttons which user can choose, and let's do that. I think we probably already talked about that earlier, but that's fine. Let's say the bot says hello, first name, how are you? And now you can add buttons to that message. So this button is tied to that message, hello, how are you? So you want to think what could be the response to hello, how are you, right? One response could be hi, hello. You say, you mirror, you reflect hello back. And it gives you options to add more buttons. You can actually, the way I'm adding buttons, you can add up to 3 buttons. Okay, so let's do that. You can say, I am good. How about you? Okay, right? That's okay. So when I chose that button title, the window turned red, and there is, if you look at this emoji area, it says -3 in red. So there is a character limitation for the button title, and it's, I forgot the number, but it's 3 beyond the limit right now. So that's the challenge. When you want to use the button title has to be within that limitation. I don't know, I'll just look up and I'll maybe tell you the exact number, but that's, you have fixed number of characters to work with. So let's do this. Let's split that. I'm gonna say in one button, I'm gonna say I'm good, and the other button I'm gonna say how are you. right? So I have those three buttons here, and okay, I just clicked back on the message. Now I still see, if you notice, I see this caution red triangle. That means something is wrong. It's not complete. Whatever we are trying to do is incomplete. So you always want to watch for that. So what can be incomplete, right? The question is, we set the first message of the flow of the conversation. The bot is saying, hello, first name, how are you? And then we came up with three possible responses, three buttons for the user to respond to the bot. User can say hi, hello back, hi back. You can say I'm good. You can say how are you? The reason there is a red triangle is that, and this is how the conversation works, right? Now, we still need to define that what happens when user responds with hi. There has to be a next step that completes that response. Just saying hi back does not complete the response, because that's the mechanism to continue the conversation. I hope that's clear. That's how the tool is built. In theory, you can say that, okay, the bot said hello, I said hi, and that's the end of the story, right? And I'll show you how to do that. But the thing is, the point of the flow is to continue the conversation. So the tool expects you to attach something to that hi, you know. So here, when you click on that, when I click on the hi button, it's going to populate this edit button form, and you have so many options. So button title, you enter the button title, right? I came up with that hi button title. And then when this button is pressed, you have 5 options. You can either send message, you can either open a website, you can either call a number, you can perform actions, which we'll cover later, what actions you can perform, and go to a flow. So basically, remember, we are building a flow, and go to a flow means you can go to another flow, right? So let's start with send message. Okay, send message. So I clicked, out of all these options, I clicked send message. Now the way it works, and once you start using this tool, you'll get used to it, is you have to click it again. So the first click is just making the selection out of 5 different options, which option you want to choose. And once you have chosen the option of sending the message, the next thing is to define the message, right? So I clicked on that, and then when I clicked on that, again, I'm going to go check to see if someone there to kind of join me, or I'm just going to have to be lonely as I move along. Yeah, so if you kind of if you happen to watch replay, and if you like this, then I would request you to share, or at least engage here, because that's how we will find more people where I can continue the conversation. I'm pretty sure there are people who want to learn this. I know that. It's just I don't know how to invite them here yet. Anyways, I'm going to continue what I was trying to do. And yeah, you'll see that what the heck I'm doing with the cursor. But the thing is, there's an overlay here which I'm manipulating, which is not visible to you because I use this tool called Ecamm, and that's what's going on. Okay, so going back. Yeah, so I selected that in response to that button that says hi, I want to send one more message. Okay, that's what I want to send. Okay. So the bot said hello, Samir, how are you? As a user, assume I'm talking with the bot, and then I'll preview this. Okay, I'll preview this. I think I'm just kind of rehashing and repeating what's obvious to you. I understand that. But like I said earlier, I do not want to assume. I want to kind of elaborate as much as I can, which can cause more confusion. I know that, but I think it will be helpful. Unless you tell me to stop, I'll kind of try to do that. So here is what happened. As you can see, the reason I asked you to switch to the Flow Builder is in Flow Builder, you can visually see the message sequence, right? So the bot says, hi, hello, first name, how are you? I as a user responds with hi. When I respond with hi, this is the next message that bot is going to say. Okay, right? That makes sense. The conversation is back and forth. Bot said something, I responded. When I responded, what should bot say again? That's what this message defines. So let's think through this, right? What do you want to say? Okay, so we are done with hello. So we should move on beyond hello, and bot should say something engaging or something that the user might be interested in. So I'm going to say, would you like to learn more about messenger bots, right? This is all about learning more about messenger bots. So let's say that that's the next message that bot sends out. Okay, so now as you can see, you can again work on defining the response to this message from the bot, right? But rather than that, what I'll do is I'll go back and first take care of the other two buttons. Remember, hi was just only one possible response of the initial message from the bot. And I defined that what I want the bot to say when the user chooses to say hi. I need to define what the bot should do when user chooses either I am good or how are you, right? So to simplify, let's do this. Let's just first say, let's just tie all of those buttons with the same message. So did you notice that what I did was here in the Flow Builder, this is something very helpful, is you can visually connect messages and actions here. So I'm connecting the button with the message. I'm saying I want to connect the how are you button. I'm left clicking, and then it gives me this arrow, and I'm just bringing that arrow over to the send message number 1, which is what I want to happen when someone clicks that how are you button. And it'll turn blue, the whole thing. And when it turns blue, I just left click again. And that's now those two actions are connected. Okay. So let's do this. Let's publish this. So we have a little conversation started here, right? We have bot saying hello, user responding with one of 3 options, and the bot responding to the user's response. So let's publish that and let's preview that. Let's see how it works, right, in action. So I'm going to say preview. There you go. It says preview message sent, check messenger. So when you preview, it's going to basically try to send you to the messenger. So that's where you can see the things in action. This message was only sent to you because I'm logged in as myself currently, so it only sends it to me and not to the rest of the universe, right? Because the bot doesn't have the permission. I just clicked it again because it disappeared. I wanted to open the messenger so that I can show you what's going on. All right, it's taking some time to load. My internet is slow. All right, so there you go. Okay, I think because I previewed twice, right? I had to press preview again because the previous link to opening the messenger went away. So I pressed it twice. That's why you see it twice. Hello, Samir, how are you? If I click hi, I expect the bot to respond to me. Would you like to learn more about messenger bots? Right? That's what we said. I can click on the other ones and it will do the same thing. I'm good. Would you like to learn more about the messenger bots? Same thing, right? So this is a flow or a sequence, a very simple one, but that's where we start, and we will continue to build on this. So hopefully this was valuable, my very basic one-on-one training of how you can use messenger bots. I promise if you join me, I'll teach you like more complex stuff. This can do much more fancy stuff. Don't let this make you believe that this is only simple, boring stuff. Not at all. That's where we start. It's very powerful. It can do so many things. It can figure out the context of sentences and things like that. We'll get to all of that. If you are watching this replay, please comment, type in your questions. Remember, I go live every single day, 2 p.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, I was going to say unless something drastic happens and I'm not able to, but my goal is to go live every single day and teach you here about messenger bots, marketing messenger bots. So thank you so much if you watch this, and I will catch you again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, thank you. Bye.